Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to Kol Ami. Welcome to those of you who are here in our sanctuary, those of you who are joining us from home. We just handed out some rhythm. If you didn't get one, if you want a little rhythm instrument, I think they're outside now, outside the sanctuary. Thought we should add a little. We have some fun music we're doing tonight. We thought you can add a little rhythm to it. But don't mess me up, okay? Don't. We come together to celebrate Shabbat, to add to the joy and sound of this, the end of the week, by joining our voices together in celebration. And I understand that the song that Lisa just played often introduces services with, but you've never sung before. Is that correct? So tonight we're going to sing it. It comes from Psalm 146, verse 2. It's right there on the screen. Azamra Eloha Be'odi. The psalm itself is a little bit different than that. It starts with Ahalala, which comes later on in the song. But the verse itself, I have to look at it here, is Ahalala Adonai B'chayai, Azamra Elohai Be'odi. Which Azamra Elohai Be'odi is, I will sing to God, to my God, with all of my might, Be'odi, with all of my being. And so it's a beautiful melody and a wonderful way to start Shabbat. If you're at home, I know you don't have one of our musical instruments here, but use your own. Join with us. You'll catch on to this. It goes like this. Azamra Elohai Be'odi, Azamra Elohai Be'odi, Ahalala, Ahalala, Azamra Elohai Be'odi, Azamra Elohai Be'odi, Azamra Elohai Be'odi, Ahalala, Ahalala, Azamra Elohai Be'odi. I'll sing to you, I'll praise to you, O source of our creation. We call your name, we sing your praise, O Holy One of blessing. Azamra, Azamra Elohai Be'odi, Azamra Elohai Be'odi, Ahalala, Ahalala, Azamra Elohai Be'odi, Azamra Elohai Be'odi, Azamra Elohai Be'odi. Ahalala, Ahalala, Azamra Elohai Be'odi. I invite you to turn in your prayer books to page 120 and 121, where we will welcome Shabbat with the kindling of Shabbat lights. And I'm going to invite Michael Becker to join us on the bema. Michael, there's a reading up here for you to read for us. Yes, we're lighting candles and joining us in Kiddush in honor of the yard site of his mother Beatrice. Delighted to have you here, Michael, to share with us. Aha.
Today my work is to rest from work. Can you hear me? Wait, now can you hear me? No. I'm sorry.
That's okay. There we go.
Hello. Yes. Today my work is to rest from work. Actually, that's out of chapter 35 in Exodus, isn't it?
It is. It is our Torah portion this week.
And to turn my mind to eternal things. Thus, this day can become a gift for body and soul, helping me realize that it is not by bread alone I live, bread for my body, but something eternal in my spirit. Even the bread I eat today will be more than bread, as I eat it bathed in the light of the eternal. For having been created in your image, I bear the impress of your eternity. On Shabbat, especially, I can live that eternity.
And we're going to turn to page 120.
I think I have it memorized, but
Do you?
not really.
There we go.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Would you like to read the English for us?
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with the mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat, which I live.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher Kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you who commands us to kindle the light of Shabbat. Not yet, but you could lift it up for a second. We're going to say Kiddush first. On page 123, we sanctify Shabbat with the fruit of the vine. I invite you to join with us. 123. Would you like to lift up the Kiddush cup for us? There we go. Would you like to lift up the Kiddush cup? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu. V'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron le'maseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila l'mikra'e kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim ki vanu v'acharta Ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat L'chaim. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah.
memory of my mother, whose yurt site I think is tomorrow or yesterday, but it's around now. And I'm very, very pleased because my mother and I were very close. And I have a picture of her on the table outside. Anyway, thank you. It makes me very happy. And several of my friends are actually here.
Thank you, Michael.
In fact, a lot of my friends are actually here. Okay.
Thank you.
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. On page 138 and 139, you'll find words that come to us first from the mystics of Tzfat. No, thank you. With which we welcome Shabbat, Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה פני שבת. Verse 2, לקראת שבת לכבוד כלה, כי הימור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה פני שבת. Verse 5, התעוררי, כי בורק ומאורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. As we turn to the last verse, rise and turn towards the exit. בואי ושלום עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי כלה, לך דודי, לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. Take a second to wish each other a Shabbat Shalom, to introduce yourself to your neighbors. If you'll remain standing now, thank you. And turn in your prayer books to page 146. Join together in the Baruch Hu. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Please be seated. It occurs to me that we capture something quite traditional in the way that we do Lecha Dodi and Baruch Hu, because, in a traditional service begins with everybody coming in and kind of doing their own thing, and they're all in their own place in the prayer book and just kind of praying to themselves, and it sounds a little chaotic, just like it does as you are greeting each other. And the Baruch Hu is used by the person leading the service to say to everybody, hey, come back together. Time to start. So we reenact that each time we join together. We're going to turn to page 149. Invite you to join with me on the top of the page as we thank God for the gift of creation. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom, the way on which time and seasons glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars, creator of the tide of time and light. You guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai HaMa'ariv Aravim. Praised are you, Adonai, creator of the lights of evening. Page 151 and 152 and 153. Join together there, and the Shema invite you, if it is your tradition, to please rise. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shem Kevo Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Please be seated. We continue with words which in the Torah are found directly after the words of the Shema, that first line of the Shema, the Ve'ahavta. Really not a separate prayer, but really part of the Shema, as it is set out in Deuteronomy chapter 5. There to remind us of the ways we can remind ourselves to be witnesses to God's oneness in the world. This beautiful version and setting by Julie Silver. Love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And these words which I command on this day shall be on your heart, shall be in your heart. Teach them faithfully unto your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise. Bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be a symbol between your eyes. Write them on the doorposts of your house and upon your gates, and upon your gates. Teach them faithfully unto your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise, and when you rise. Page 157. We'll read together again on the top of the page. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before we ever stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. You're going to want your eggs for this one. Ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 mi chamo chaba elim Adonai mi chamo haneda bakodesh noratehi lo rosefele noratehi מלכותך ראו בניך בוקי הים לפני משה ומרים זה אלינו ואמרו זה אלינו ואמרו אדוני לא לעולם בעת אדוני לא לעולם la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. On page 162. Not Vishamru, but another song we sometimes sing to celebrate Shabbat, Yismechu. Now I know that this one is, pretty sure, new to Kol Ami, a version by Joe Black. Flamenco, which is 12/8. Don't even ask me what that means. And I just learned that the beat comes on 12. Is that right? 12. Don't even try. Ready? Got it. Okay. Goes like this. Yismechu b'malchutcha shomerei Shabbat. Yismechu b'malchutcha shomerei Shabbat. V'korei oneg, v'korei oneg. Yismechu b'malchutcha shomerei Shabbat. Mekadeshei, Mekadeshei Shavi'i, Kulam Yispeu V'yitangu Mituvecha, Yismechu B'malchutcha, Shomerei Shabbat. Yismechu B'malchutcha, Shomerei Shabbat. V'korei oneg, v'korei oneg, Yismechu b'malchutcha, shomerei Shabbat. V'hashvi'i ratzita bo v'kidashto, Chemdati yamim oto karata, Zecher lematzei v'reshit, Yismechu b'malchutcha, shomerei Shabbat. Yismechu b'malchutcha, shomerei Shabbat. Again. Yismechu b'malchutcha, shomerei Shabbat. Yismechu b'malchutcha, shomerei Shabbat. On page 165, prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirit, God's will to prevail in our hearts, in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. We rise now for the Amidah as we open our hearts and our souls to God. Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid, Tehilatecha, Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid, Tehilatecha. Continue silently with the words to be found on page 166 through 180, or with the thoughts and meditations of our own hearts. And when you're prepared to do so, feel free to be seated. יהיו לרצון אמרי פי בהגיון ליבי לפניך יהיו לרצון אמרי פי בהגיון ליבי לפניך. We turn now to our prayer for healing, calling to mind and holding in our hearts all those in need of healing of body, of mind, of spirit. On the screen in front of you are the names of those the members of our community are praying for this Shabbat. Before we join together in our prayer, I would invite you, if there are those particular individuals that you are praying for, that you are holding in your heart this Shabbat, if you would please call out their name as I look your way. Shebeirach Avotenu, Abraham, Yitzhak, veYaakov. Mi shebeirach Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, who blessed our Father, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Mi shebeirach Avotenu, Abraham, Yitzhak, veYaakov. Mi shebeirach Imotenu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, v'Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. This coming week, we enter a new month, the month of Adar. Again, Adar 2. As I mentioned, when we entered Adar 1 a month ago, on Adar you say, Adar is about being happy. You're supposed to say, be happy, it's Adar. So you get a double dose of happiness this year because we get Adar 1 and Adar 2. Of course, in Adar 2, in 2 weeks, we celebrate Purim. So we will welcome the new month. This is called Shabbat Mevarchim, the Shabbat that comes before a new month. The month of Adar 2 begins on Monday. And so we will join together in welcoming this new month. May it be your will, God, my God, and God of my ancestors. I did that in the wrong key, didn't I? Sorry, that's okay. You can't play with me when I don't do it in the right key. So we'll move it up one and try it again. May it, is that better? Be your will, God, my God, and God of my ancestors, that the coming month bring us peace, full life and blessing. May the promise of your new moon fill us with well-being. Guide us as we grow, making us complete. May it be your will, God, my God, and God of my ancestors, that the coming month bring us peace, full life and blessing. May the coming of your new moon fill us with well-being. Guide us as we grow, making us complete. Misha Pote, Avotenu, Misha Asani, Simle Imotenu, Misha Asani, Simle Avotenu, Misha Asani, Simle Imotenu. Well, it's kind of hard to believe, but we are coming to the conclusion of the book of Exodus somehow. This Shabbat and next, we will read of the building and dedication of the Mishkan, the tent of meeting, that sacred space at the center of the community where the people came together to meet God. The artisans B'Tzalel and Oholiav have been designated to build the Mishkan with materials collected from all those contributing with willing hearts, with precious metals and gems, with fine fabrics and woods. They will create a space for God to dwell at the very heart of the Israelites' encampment. The construction of the Mishkan stands in stark contrast to what the Israelites created last week, a golden calf. There are, however, some interesting similarities between the two projects. First, of course, like the Mishkan, the calf was also made of precious metals, and it too was meant to stand at the heart of the community. But most interestingly, both construction projects in the Torah have a connection to Shabbat. Both projects commence directly after a discussion of Shabbat. The building of the golden calf is preceded by a warning God gives to Moses at Sinai's peak regarding the observance of Shabbat. Those who fail to observe Shabbat, God warns, and thus violate the sacred agreement between God and the Jewish people shall be cut off and shall surely die. And immediately following these warnings given to Moses on Sinai, God tells Moses to hurry down the mountain because the people have begun their own construction project. The golden calf, of course. In this week's portion, having returned from the top of the mountain with a second set of tablets, Moses speaks directly to the Israelites and gives them the same warning that God had given to him on the top of Sinai in last week's portion about the observance of Shabbat. And Moses then immediately sets them on another building project, the building of the tent of meeting, the Mishkan. And our sages wonder what the heck is going on here. Why is Shabbat so directly connected to both of these disparate events? Well, one likely possibility they suggest is that all of this is meant as a lesson about the potential influence of Shabbat on our lives. In Torah's stark terms, its observance is literally a matter of life and death. In last week's Parsha, a tense, anxious, and desperate community, not yet instructed in the importance of Shabbat, demands that Aaron build them a god. And he takes on the task in a, kind of passive-aggressive kind of way. He says, fine, you want a god? Give me all your precious metals and jewelry. And then remember his description to Moses about all of this. He says, I don't know, I threw them all into the fire and out came this golden calf. Well, this is what happens, it seems the Torah is telling us, when we forget about the ideals and values and ethics inherent to Shabbat, turning instead to the worship of the work of our own hands. Contrast that to this week's portion. Following Moses' instructions to the community regarding Shabbat, individuals whose hearts are so moved bring gifts for the building of a place for God to exist in their midst. The Mishkan is so different. Rather than a demand that everybody take their earrings and their rings and throw them into the fire, there is an invitation to engage in sacred work. Let all whose hearts are so moved come and fashion a dwelling place for God. This feels a lot more like Shabbat. And if it's not quite clear enough, Torah makes sure we understand the message with one word that clearly distinguishes these two acts, the building of the calf and the building of the Mishkan. The word lev, heart. In the making of the golden calf, there is no mention of the word heart. But here, in this week's portion, in the building of the Mishkan, we find the word heart mentioned 14 times. 14 times. But not just any 14 willy-nilly mentions of heart, but significantly 2 distinct collections of 7. 7 references to one with a chokhmat lev, one with a wise heart, one who performs mitzvot, whose work is performed in order to serve God, and the other 7 references to those with yidvenu lev, those who give willingly from their hearts. Once again, the Torah makes clear that what is most necessary in the building of a house for God is heart. Heart. It is no coincidence that the 14 mentions of heart appear in 2 pairs of 7. 7, of course, is our number of completeness, the number of creation, and 2 times because I am not complete alone. It takes 2 working together to create a space in which God can reside. To have a heart, one cannot live closed off in fear or in anger. One has to be able to connect in understanding and compassion and, most importantly, with empathy with the heart of another. Now, one might wonder, as did the sages, why a space has to be created for God in the first place. After all, isn't God everywhere? Why do we need to create a space for God? And in response, they ask us to consider a grotto, a cave by the ocean's edge. And they say that we are like a grotto. When a wave rushes in from the sea into the grotto, the cave is filled with water. And so it is with God and us. Like the sea, God indeed is everywhere, just like the ocean. But if we want God to be with us, we, like the grotto, have to create a space for God to rush in and fill us up. This place. Of course, that doesn't mean that there is less of God anywhere else, but that we have intentionally created a space for God to be here with us. Over the course of these two portions, the Torah seems to ask, are you in your daily pursuits creating a golden calf or a mishkan? Are you mindfully opening your heart to God so that God can rush in, serving God as you serve others, or are you just simply self-serving? Centuries later, our Hasidic masters would raise these same questions by way of a beautiful story they told about the Baal Shem Tov, who was the founder of Hasidic Judaism. I may have told some of you this story before. The story is of the Besht, as he was known. Baal Shem Tov was known as the Besht. He was tending to an ill man, and try as he might, the Baal Shem Tov could not heal the man. And so the man's son sent him away and called for a doctor instead. His efforts, too, proved unsuccessful. The ill man demanded of his sons that they send the doctor away and bring the Baal Shem Tov back. And the sons wondered why. After all, his efforts produced no better results than the doctor's. Indeed, the father answered, but at least I knew that when he was here, God was here too. The Baal Shem Tov created a place for God to rush in. Wherever he was, he created a dwelling place for God. Giving the best of ourselves for a higher purpose draws God in, brings God closer to us and to those around us. We can sense God's presence with such individuals and in such moments. This, the building of the Mishkan, is, of course, ultimately each of our sacred tasks. It is what we are placed on this earth to do. Shabbat, as we are taught by the Torah over these 2 weeks, comes to remind us weekly of this sacred task to which we are called. Shabbat gives us the time to pause, to breathe, to reopen our hearts, and to draw God in, so that when we return to our work-a-day world, that which we are creating will not be self-serving golden calves, who ultimately can lead us only to a death of the spirit, but rather that we spend our days creating dwelling places where the Spirit of the living God can be felt in all that we are and in all that we do. Shabbat Shalom. I'm going to pause for a moment to invite Janine to come forward and to share some announcements with us.
Wow. Thank you very much for that, Drosh. That was beautiful. Good evening. I'm Janine Snyder, and it's my honor to represent the board to wish all of you a beautiful Shabbat Shalom. And all of us want to thank Rabbi Lutz for leading the service tonight, and Lisa Edwards on the piano with her beautiful playing. And thank you to Travis for audio-visual work and Leonard Seelig for helping us tonight with the Onig. And thank you, Michael Becker, for sponsoring tonight's Onig in memory of your mother, Beatrice. We'd like to invite everybody to something that's going to be really fun. Really fun. We're going to have Kingdom in Shushan Barbie Purim. Now, it's happening on Shabbat for actually one of the first times. We're going to have it on Shabbat. We're going to have, our Kiddush is going to be a Barbie mitzvah buffet for all the members. And while the event is free because it's Shabbat, everybody needs to RSVP. Members are going to be honored first, and any non-member will be invited to donate $18 for the meal, which is going to be very exciting, I must say. I'm in charge of that part. Now, on Tuesday night, the 19th, we're having a membership meeting. You're all going to get a blast in your email about that. Please mark that, and if you can attend, the board would love to have you be in person to discuss our new rabbi. Tonight, after the completion of the services, Open Yad Shabbat Shmooze is going to be held at All Seasons Brewing Company. If you need to hitch a ride, let someone know, and carpool from Kol Ami over to the brewing company. Tomorrow night, March 9th, come celebrate the end of Shabbat with a potluck Havdalah at Havdalah, from 7 to 9 at Larry Levy's home. All members of the community are invited to come out for a night of music, prayer, and socializing. Please check the website to register and for more information, as we're calling out for volunteers to participate in all of the festivities. Also tomorrow night, the men of the Reformed Judaism will be honoring our own Mark Purchin at the 26th Annual Man of the Year Dinner. Yay, Mark. The event will take place at Temple Ahavat Shalom in Northridge. Our monthly prophetic Torah study will take place on March 16th at 10 a.m. Please register online. On Tuesday, March 19th at 7:30 p.m., we will be having that congregational meeting that I mentioned to discuss our new senior rabbi. Tuesday, March 19th is also Pride Night at LA Kings game, and Evan Cohen is making arrangements for tickets to go to the Kings game. Please reach out to Evan directly. His contact information is on our web. Our monthly lunch and learn is on Wednesday, March 20th at 12 p.m. Wow, this is a lot. These sessions are jointly led by Rabbi Lutz and Rabbi Jillian Cameron of BCC. Please register online for the Zoom link. On Sunday, March 24th, the women of Kol Ami are hosting a brainstorming session at Kol Ami. Please register and help WOCA create a great programming for the future. Our Friday night evening service, March 29th, join us in a special Shabbat service, including participation by MOCA, men of Kol Ami. Following the service, there is no host dinner, nosh at Aroma Bar and Grill. Please register for the dinner so we know how many will be attending with us. And as always, we hope you keep up to date at all that's happening, which is a lot, as you can tell, on the website. And always register for the events. And Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Janine. Thank you so much. There's a lot going on here. We are going to turn now in our prayer books to page 586, where we will find the Aleinu, which as always reminds us that the world we seek to create, it is up to us to create. Aleinu, it is up to us. I invite you to please rise as we open the ark. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'tei gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kagoyei ha'aratzot, melo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gohor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim v'nei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz hayom hahu hayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo 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 echad. Please be seated. On page 593, the light of life is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled, it burns, it glows. It is radiant with warmth and beauty, but soon it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance and our life burns down and gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen, yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory, slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives, we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. We pause, as we do at the end of each Shabbat service, to remember the names of those who have brought light into our lives, personally into our community, and indeed continue in many ways to provide a source of light through the blessings they shared with their lives. We remember first those whose loved ones are observing their yahrzeit this Shabbat. First, those whose names are on our wall of memory in the sanctuary. We remember Morton Glenn, Michael Igdaloff, and Jerry Belenkoff. And others whose yahrzeit is observed this Shabbat, of course, Beatrice Becker, Keith Cantrell, Morton Prentice, Robert S. Levinson, Betty Shanbrom, and Barbara Oko. On the screen in front of you as well are the names of those who have died in the past year, whose loved ones, members of this community, are still in the process of saying Kaddish for them. As we remember all of them, hold them in our hearts, I'd invite you, if you are here saying Kaddish for a loved one this Shabbat, to please rise and to share their name with us at this time. To each of you, we say, Zichronam Livracha, may the memories of your loved ones be for you always a source of blessing. Now, in support of the mourners among us, and in remembrance of all who have left none, we rise as a community. On page 598, we'll join together. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayei chon u'v'yomei chon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uvizman kari ve'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach le'olam ul'amei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei dekutsha b'richu. Le'elamin kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Da'amiran be'alma ve'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shamaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, comfort to all the bereaved among us, as we say, Amen. I was going to say, please be seated, but don't be seated, just mush together. We'll conclude with the words we've just said, Oseh Shalom. Words that first pray that the maker of peace in heaven will make peace for us on earth. But of course, as we know, we are God's messengers on earth, and it is up to us to make that happen. And so we'll join together. Oseh Shalom. Shalom, b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, hu yaseh shalom, hu yaseh shalom, Amen. May the one who brings peace bring peace down. May the one who brings peace bring peace down. May the one who brings peace bring peace down. May the one who brings peace bring peace down. Oseh Shalom. B'mromav. Oseh Shalom. B'mromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh shalom. Hu yaseh shalom. Alleluia. May the one who brings peace bring peace down. May the one who brings peace bring peace down. May the one who brings peace bring peace down. May the one who brings peace bring peace down. Shabbat Shalom. I'd like to invite any of our guests that are here with us this evening to come forward. Anyone else who would like to come forward, so that we can join together in Motzi. Ezra. Come up here. Don't block the camera. All right. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Woo!